Tyler, you will not know rest until you go ahead and acknowledge your discrepancies and mistreatment and actions towards our good sis Mon'nique. Hello, welcome back to Bnystake. I'm your girl Benny, and listen, today I'm bringing you yet another thought of the week, right? Listen, I told y'all my docket is full. Okay, it's giving overflow. It's a lot of things going on, and I'm trying to roll it out as best as I can. So if you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. And this is my second video, y'all, right? Like, it's giving consistency. Some of y'all that couldn't find it on YouTube, the consistency is back. This is my second video that I'm putting out in the same week. It's giving consistency. It's giving clocked in. Okay, it's giving I'm on my Zoom. So we have this story that unfolded, and this happened while I was on my hiatus, but I still wanted to talk about it. You had Miss Angie Stone, who went on to be with him, and so when they were having a celebration of life for her, you had our good brother, Mr. Tyler Perry himself, right? That baby done took a break from co-producing, directing, editing, costume design, wig installation, and makeup and hair removal. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that baby be doing everything by himself. Our good brother took a break from all of the things that he be doing. He took a break to go ahead and give, you know, his speech for our good sister. First of all, rest her soul. What a legacy, what a life. You know, I pray the family is doing well, the family is comforted, and all of the things. So we had our good brother, Mr. Tyler Perry himself, who went ahead and decided to go ahead and give him a speech for our good sis. Now, following the speech, we had our good sis, Mon'nique, who had this to say. Now, one thing about Mon'nique not gonna let nothing go. Okay? And I'm not even asking her to. But one thing about Miss Mon'nique, she not gonna let nothing go. You gonna hear about her. As soon as she sees Tyler Perry breathing, she gonna be like, you out here breathing and you ain't even did nothing to apologize or acknowledge and take accountability for all the things that you done did to me. But here you are just inhaling. That's a problem for our good sis, Miss Mon'nique. That's a problem. How you gonna be breathing? How you gonna be taking a bite of your food and then got the nerve to digest your food before you go ahead and take accountability and acknowledge the things that you done did to me? That's a problem. Miss Mon'nique gonna let us know that that's a problem for her. We're gonna go ahead and read what Miss Mon'nique said in response to the speech. The speech was beautiful. You know, it acknowledged some of the things that be happening in the industry, encourage people to go ahead and remember a good sis, you know, Miss Angie. It did all that. So if you haven't watched it, if you just pull it up, Tyler Perry's speech on Angie, you're gonna hear the whole thing. But we're just gonna read what Miss Mon'nique had to say. This whatchamacallit, a 500-page essay. Okay, single spaced. AP style, citation, and everything in between. Miss Mon'nique said, you're not gonna know no rest until you go ahead and apologize to me and my family for all the things that you done did to go ahead and hinder my career. Open letter to Tyler Perry. This is a letter. We would like to give our heartfelt condolences to Angie Stone's family and friends. Sister Angie, we stand on the shoulders of the elders and ancestors like you. So please know that your fight inspired us to write this letter and that the fight doesn't end with your passing, as it is only the beginning. How is it that somebody gonna get the one-way ticket to go ahead and be with sweet black Jesus? How is that gonna inspire you to go ahead and keep fighting on their shoulder? They're resting. You know what I'm saying? Like they going on to be with him to go ahead and get their rest on. How you still fighting on their shoulders? Their shoulders is gone. You know what I'm saying? Like their shoulders is gone to go ahead and be with him. How you gonna still fight on their shoulders? But our good sis, Miss Mon'nique, said she inspired to go ahead and fight. Right? Miss Angie, her shoulders, when she was alive, when she was out here on this side of glory, she ain't fought enough. Now that you gone, I'm going to use your shoulders and keep fighting. I'm going to use your name. I'm going to use your passing to go ahead and fight on your shoulders. And I'm like, dang. Can we like allow our good sis to get like a little break on the shoulders? Then she gonna say, "Dear Tyler Perry, I recently watched your heartfelt speech at Angie Stone's funeral, where you expressed frustration over her mistreatment by the music industry. It struck me and my husband Sydney as poignant, but also made us reflect on some unsettling discrepancies in your actions towards me." Tyler, you will not know rest until you go ahead and acknowledge your discrepancies and mistreatment and actions towards our good sis Mon'nique. Number one, you don't express anger over Angie's mistreatment, yet you labeled me difficult to work with, despite never having worked with me. How can you condemn poor treatment of others when you've imposed the same on me? We have audio of you admitting you were wrong. My good sis Jessie Wu has done a whole just like breakdown of the actual history. Miss Mon'nique has a point with how she was blackballed and how, the industry mistreated her. So I encourage you to go ahead and check it out. Like if you just type in like Jessie Wu thoughts on Mon'nique and Tyler Perry, she goes through like the detail because she's been in this industry for a good second, so she breaks down like all the details, right? However, period, like our good sis Angie just went on to be with him. Can we let her rest? Can we at least wait like, I don't know, 3 to 5 business days for her shoulders to go ahead and just like rest and lay with him for a little bit? We had to bring up Tyler Perry again at this time. In this hour, during this repass hour, Miss Mon'nique. And that was point number one. She gonna say you a hypocrite and I ain't gonna let you leave, right? And then she gonna say number two, you asked, where's the money she's owed? Well, where's my public apology that you promised in 2016? Right? Because in 2016, at 11:59, you done said in January or 2016 that you was going to go ahead and apologize and acknowledge your wrongdoings for the public, for the people that got to go ahead and see. Where that apology, Mr. Tyler? Because we talking about who owes what. You owe me an apology. Why are you worried about what she was owed? You ain't paid what I'm owed. Tyler Perry, you will not know any rest. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how many movies you produce, co-produce, co-direct, write and edit and do the lighting and the casting and the wig installment and the wig removal and the wardrobe for. It don't matter how much you put out there. Mon'nique not gonna let you rest until you give her the apology that you owed her from 2016 in January 15. I don't know if that's the day, but that's the day that came out of my mouth. But we do know for a fact and for a certain that it was in 2016. You will not know no rest. Where is her apology? Where is it, Tyler? She ain't done. Let's continue. The false narrative you perpetuated helped blackball me, costing me tens of millions. Where's the restitution for that? You worried about the payment that Miss Angie received. How about the payment that I could have been received had it not been for you disrespecting me and blackballing me and calling me difficult for the people of God? Where is that retribution? Is it retribution? Restitution. Where is it at? Tyler, it ain't here. I looked. Where is her restitution? You know what I'm saying? Because one thing about Miss Mon'nique, she gonna come for you with all the vocabulary. You will not know no rest. She will make sure that you know no rest until you gonna go ahead and rectify some things. And she gonna give you vocabulary word to go with it as well. Mind you, this is during somebody's repass. Like, Miss Mon'nique. Miss Mon'nique, this her repass. Well, what are we talking? This her repass. What's going on? This literally her repass. This her celebration of life. This her she done went on to be with him. She done went on to glory. This what we write in the essay. Augustus said, you will not know any rest. I don't care how many movies you pull out. Every time I see your name, I'm going to let you know how you done did me wrong. She ain't going to let that go. It don't matter what happens. You not going to. And she ain't done. She going to say, you know what I imagine? I feel like as Tyler Perry was giving this speech, Mon'nique was in her house just like, okay. What he said, all right. Bullet point number 1. She took notes. I'm talking about she dissected that speech on some like, and then he done said this. And then he done said this. How does that align? We gonna that baby had a calculator out. She was calculating some things. So you done said this right here. But in 2016, then you done say you was gonna go ahead and apologize. Where is the apology? Let's solve for the apology. Mon'nique was calculating some things. As somebody else's repass. Like, oh my God. Like, I be having goals as far as how petty I want to be in this life, right? I do have goals as far as that. Like, I want to be the kind of person that will be petty to the point where like you gon' want to fear the Lord as a result, right? But like repass, you know what I'm saying? Like that baby has gone on to be with him. Like this what we talking about on her repass, on her shoulders. Miss Mon'nique, she gonna say, you mentioned being tired of us not receiving the benefits we deserve. Yet and still, you asked me to promote Precious for free without a contract or compensation, which highlights your double standard. You is double, you is lukewarm. You will neither cold nor hot. You just like, you doubling like this, in between. Tell the truth and shame the devil. And we're going to talk about it as somebody else's repass. On somebody else's shoulders. We're going to talk about these things. Then she going to say, you said we should be careful in how we treat children of God. As a man of faith, where is your responsibility to act with love and truth? Because the truth ain't in you. Because had it been in you, you would have been apologized to me in 2016. How you done say you was going to go ahead and apologize in public for how you done treated me. This is happening at somebody's repass. Lord have mercy. Where is your responsibility to act with love and truth? Ain't no love and no truth in your heart. And you call yourself a man of faith? You promised me an apology years ago, but it's yet to come. This apology gonna come at the same time as Sweet Black Jesus. Y'all know Jesus coming back soon. Soon and very soon. That baby gonna come back. But on his way to coming back, that's when this apology gonna come. Because it's 2016. We are in a year, it's gonna be a decade. Tyler said, I'm not giving you no apology. It ain't gonna be no apology. And Mon'nique said, you're not gonna know no rest. Everything you do, I'm gonna ask for the apology. Every time you breathe, I'm gonna ask for the apology. Every time I see you chewing, I'm gonna ask for the apology. Every time I see you doing anything, I'm gonna ask for the apology. Mind you, this is at somebody's repass. Miss Mon'nique, This is another level of petty. Then she gonna say, unlike the music industry, which you rightly criticize, we have audio documentation of your actions. Shouldn't you be held accountable too? Because everybody getting accountable. He should get accountable for the accounting of the accountable that was accounted for the accountability of the accountable. Where is your accountability? My sister is calculating as somebody's repass. Right? She chewing on the mac and cheese for the repass, and she taking notes on the speech for her to go ahead and calculate later and try to figure out like where the accountability gonna be at. Miss Mon'nique. Then she gonna have a closing statement, y'all. She gonna say, in closing, I hope your words at Angie's funeral inspire you to correct the wrongs done to my family and me. You have the power to do so. As you've shared biblical teachings, please remember, what will it profit a man? Not the Bible. Not the Bible. Y'all gonna learn to put some respect on the Bible. Not the Bible, not the Bible verse. As somebody's repass. You gonna try to air out all the dirty laundry as somebody's repass, and you gonna quote scripture with it, Miss Mon'nique. Not the Bible. She gonna say, what will it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? And just to make sure that y'all knew where that came from, that baby gonna pull Mark 8:36. We await your response with love and respect, Mon'nique and Sydney. Y'all, this is at somebody's repass, right? Like not even like literally at the repass, but like this woman has gone on to be with him, and this is the time. Mon'nique said, you will not know peace. And honestly, I'm never going to be the girl to be like, well, just like let it go. Because no, if you feel like somebody has done you wrong, you should stand on that for sure. However, comma period, like we need to have decorum. This wasn't it. I'm sorry. This was not it. It just was not it. Somebody has gone on to be with them. The family is grieving. The fans are grieving. We should not be talking about the apology that Tyler Perry done been owed you since 2016. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's just kind of like, dang. Wait, like, give it 3 to 5 business days. Then go ahead. As soon as he has a movie release, go ahead and bring it up. Because, you know, that's whatever. We know how the movie gonna go. A black woman gonna get their kung fu. Somebody gonna do kung fu for them. Like, we know how the movie and the show's gonna go. So when he has something going on for him as a person, go ahead and, you know, go ahead and talk all about it right then and there. But as somebody's repass, as somebody's, you know, celebration of life, or at the expense of somebody's celebration of life, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment down below, like, am I... You know, and this is not me trying to say like, oh, I know all the things, and like I'm not trying to say that. But again, let Miss Angie Stone go ahead and rest. Let her go ahead and be with him, and be with him in peace. Like, give it a little while. Like, you cannot take somebody's moment of, like, the family, the fans, the friends, and the, you know, everybody that work with her. People are celebrating her. People are giving her flowers, which I hope, you know, people did when she was alive as well, right? But that ain't the time. That really not the time. But comment down below and let me know. Maybe I'm just bugging, but comment down below and let me know. Another story that I'm a little behind on was our good brother Marvin Sapp, which, you know, I've been a huge fan of his music. Like, I love the songs like Never Would Have Made It. Like, if you've been a church girl, like, you love Marvin Sapp. You love the music. You love, you know, some of the bangers that he's given us. And so you had him at a church, and he was raising money for the church of the people of God. And this is how it went. If you haven't seen the video yet, I'm just going to go ahead and play. I know I'm a little behind, but as a church girl, I couldn't let this pass without talking about it. So please indulge me. We just gonna go ahead and play it and see what our good brother had to say to the people of God.
Understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed.
The first thing I want to talk about is the laughter and the murmurs in the, in the church. Because oftentimes we'll be talking about like, oh, church culture is weird, church culture, this and that, church culture, all that stuff. But like, if you pay attention, church culture isn't just maintained by the people on the stages, by the leaders. The church culture is maintained by the people who accept the behaviors within a church, as in like, that's just the norm, that's just what we do, and don't even question or think twice about it. Why are y'all laughing in these tariff times? Walk me through where exactly in the Bible does it say that you had to, sow a specific gift to the church in monetary value? Where exactly in the Bible did it say that? That's church culture. That ain't even the way of the Bible. When did it ever say to put a price on what somebody can give? But how many times have you had, these charismatic men who come or women who come and they just gonna come and like manipulate and push out to go ahead and spend money that you may or may not have in these tariff times? What if I got $1? Let's talk about it. Like, why are you deciding for me that, it's going to be the $20 that everybody going to give? Why are you deciding that for me? It's my pocket. Why are you in my pocket? You need to back it up by scripture. Where exactly did it say, give exactly this much? I don't know exactly where in the Bible, but there's a story of a woman who was in the Bible, and there was like a whole lot of, wealthy people in the church and in the congregation, whatever, at the time of Jesus. And so you had all these people who gave like all this money. And then you had like a woman who was there, a very poor woman who gave, the little that she did have. And Jesus turned around and was like, dang, out of all these people, she gave the best of them all. And it wasn't because of the monetary value. It was because that's all she had. That's all she had in her heart. That's all she had in her heart. That's all she had with her. And she gave it all. Unlike the people who, let's say, if you have $1,000 and you decide to give, I don't know, 200 or whatever the case is, versus somebody who's on their last 10. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to sow this because God put it in their own heart to decide, like, I'm going to go ahead and give all of this. The 200 isn't better than the 10. In that story in the Bible, Jesus said the 10 was the best because she gave from her heart and she gave all that she had. Nobody said an amount for her to give, but like that's what she gave. Nobody said an amount for anybody to give, but they gave what they wanted to give, what they felt led in their hearts to give. So for you to go ahead and close the doors. Close the door. For you to do that and then just be like, oh, everybody here sold $20 and everybody online. First of all, it's my internet. The quickness with which I would have closed that computer or turned off the TV, you're not going to come and tell me what I'm going to give. Especially in my house, At least try to, I'll give you trying to finesse the people inside the congregation. But online, if I don't, you close the door, I close my computer. You close the door, I turn off my TV. You close the door, I swipe up. Close the YouTube. Close the Facebook. Close whatever app I was watching you from. You close the doors, gone. But that's accepted in the church. Because y'all were in there laughing. What's funny? And after this, I'm trying to go ahead and go eat. Okay. I can't eat.
I used to think $20 was a lot of money. $20, believe it or not, when my late wife, Melinda P. Sapp, was alive, was a good date. I could take her to the movies, buy a box of popcorn, get 1 soda, 2 straws. I wasn't cheap. That's swag. I was looking in her eyes. She's looking in mine. Can't do that no more.
I'm going to pause on this as well because this is not a take that I heard. But personally, comment down below and let me know. But personally, listening to him bring up his late wife, may her soul rest in peace, bringing her up in this conversation, something about that was a little tacky to me, personally. Comment down below if it's just me. Now, I've never been the one, and I never want to be the one to try to police people, of how they behave as a result of maybe a great loss that they've experienced in their lives. I've never been that person, and I'm not trying to be that person. However, comma period, you were asking for money. Why did you have to bring up your dead wife? It's like a subtle way. It's like a subtle way of just like, to me personally, I'm not trying to be offensive, but to me, it landed a little bit of like, oh, let me try to almost like draw at your strings by bringing somebody who no longer is here so that maybe you guys can, I don't know, empathize or sympathize or whatever the case is. And so as a result of that, it rang to me low-key like emotional manipulation. It rang to me as you using your wife's passing almost as a way to get a little change. And again, I'm gonna say this, maybe y'all would disagree. I'm getting it's becoming a little off-putting to me whenever you have people in church preach to you that God is going to supply all your needs, all your financial needs. God is going to supply them and God is going to make a way. That is true. God provides for our needs. God is the provider. He going to do the things. But when the church needs money, the church don't be waiting for God to provide and open the door. The church turns to churchgoers and asks them to go ahead and give to the church. In cases like this, almost by any means necessary. If God called you to a project, right? A need that maybe you want to be a problem solver for. If God called you to that and God knows it's going to cost $40,000, I believe personally that God going to make a way for you to raise the $40,000 in a way that doesn't involve you almost like trying to manipulate people into raising that $40. I still believe in God of miracles. I still believe in the God of like, okay, where there seems to be no way, God gonna make a way. If I'm in the middle of the Red Sea, God gonna party miraculously. I believe that. But somehow it seems as though church preachers and church leaders will teach to the congregation and to the people in the pews that God gonna do that for them. That if they ain't got no money, they should just wait on the Lord. God gonna make a way. Wait on the Lord, God gonna make a way. But as soon as they need money, they not waiting on the Lord to make a way. They turning to the congregation and being like, you give me your money during these tariff times. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you the amounts that you going to go ahead and give to me. That to me, it don't sit well with me. Comment down below. And him throwing like his late wife, like, oh, you know, my late wife, we used to go ahead and go on a date for like the $20 and the things. It just was a subtle way to bring back to people's memory, like, hey, I'm a widow. I ain't got no, you know, my wife done been gone, you know, to be with him. I'm going to just like throw that there to emotionally pull at you, to emotionally pull at your strings so that you can go ahead and get that 20. That's what it felt like to me a little bit. Comment down below and let me know, please. I'm not looking for nothing. I ain't coming for the anointed man of God. Like I told you, I'm a fan. This ain't said well, though. This ain't said well with me, though. So we just having conversations. I'm not coming at nobody. I'm not coming at nobody. I'd say allegedly, but the video right here. So we responding to a video. It's just my thoughts. But comment down below and let me know yours.
Now, everyone up here, we've all sowed and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. I got you. Let's see. So put your 20 away, preachers. That 20 wasn't for you. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm going to have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on take your phone and stick it on the bucket.
I'm sorry, no. This is like I need y'all to come and go ahead and step up and go ahead and give. I need to see at least 1,000 of y'all standing up over here and give. So if you a Sally Mae, right, and you ain't got the 20 and you ain't got nothing on you to go ahead and give, and so you stay behind, the judging eyes that will follow you, not just from the actual pulpit, but then you got the members, everybody that will be standing, and then they'll look at the few who may not have it. No, absolutely not. And I think him saying like the leader should give more was a way of saying like, oh, we all in this together. Yeah, if you have the 100 and all the leaders have the 100, then all y'all come together and do that and allow people to give what they can give. And trust that if God really calls you to do whatever you need that $40,000 for, God gonna provide. There's a certain level of like shaming. Like we gonna shame you low-key. It has like that shaming undertone to it. Right? But comment down below and let me know. I'm not trying to do nothing, but listen. And then he went ahead and gave this apology or like an explanation that to me, it just wasn't really giving nothing and a half. But I'm just going to leave it right here for you to read. But to me, the whole thing is just like, no, it's so many things that happens in church that we just allow, that we just accept. And that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Alrighty, that's it on me, y'all. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. I'm going to be back on this couch again making another video because I'm committed to do the things for the people of God. So please subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'm going to go ahead and see you guys on the next video. Bye, Z's.